remember the way she said it. Steady, almost practiced. She's going to live with her biological father. No hesitation, no guilt. Just a sentence dropped into the middle of the living room like a blade. I didn't reply. My silence became the mask. Behind it my chest burned, my fingers tightened. Years of sacrifice, tuition checks, rent for her dorm, overtime shifts I swallowed, all tossed aside with that one calm line. I didn't argue or beg. I didn't ask when or why. I let the words hang and fester. Something inside me changed in that quiet. For 3 years I'd raised that girl as if she were mine. My wife's daughter, yes, but blood never mattered to me. I'd shown up for every marker. First scraped knee, first job, first car, the down payment paid with money I'd put aside instead of fixing my own life. Her college acceptance letter I framed and treated like scripture. Every form, every bill, every loan bore my signature. Whenever she smiled with that practiced, soft look, I believed I'd become part of her story. But love can be counterfeit. You don't always notice the forgery until the ink runs. The first crack came 2 months earlier. One night I overheard a hushed phone call. Her voice was low, guarded. I caught one word, Dad. Not me, him. The man who vanished when she was 2, who hadn't sent a card or remembered a birthday, suddenly reappeared and seemed more worthy than I was. My wife, with her voice trembling in the name of loyalty, confessed what she thought was honesty. She told me the gal wanted to move across the state, to live with that man, to let him be a father again. And the woman who once swore we were family stood there defending it. I smiled the way you do, accepting whether you cannot change. Inside, the temperature dropped to ice. Revenge doesn't begin with fury. It starts with stillness. That night I opened a drawer and found the file I'd kept, every bill, every receipt, every tuition payment I'd made. She hadn't been under my insurance by accident. I'd made show of it. I'd tied legal threads so tight they ran through my taxes and forms. Then a fact hit me, the financial aid. It wasn't her mother filling out FAFSA every year. It was me. My tax returns, my reported income, my household status. I was the backbone of her aid package. Remove me and the structure would wobble. So I called the university. Calm, polite. I told them my household situation had changed, that I no longer assumed financial responsibility, that my income was no longer part of the picture. They updated the records. Numbers shifted. Aid vanished like mist. All that was left was to wait. It happened faster than I expected. 3 days later my phone buzzed, my wife's name on the screen. I let it ring twice before answering. She wasn't composed now. She was frantic, stumbling over words. The dean's office had called, her financial aid revoked. Scholarships gone, loans affected, everything. Her voice broke into a raw, small sound. What did you do? I could picture her in some sterile office, her daughter beside her, dreams unraveling in real time. I didn't raise my voice, didn't gloat. I simply said the truth. She's not my responsibility anymore. Isn't that what you wanted? Silence flooded the line. Disbelief, then anger. Underneath it a thin, exposed thread of regret. Calls kept coming. My wife, her daughter, numbers I didn't recognize. I let most go to voicemail. Once I picked up, the daughter's voice trembled, nearly breaking. Why would you do this to me? She asked. I pictured the girl who had planned to replace me while looking me in the eye. You made your choice, I said. Choices have consequences. Ask your father to pay for your tuition. If he's going to be your hero, let him prove it. She didn't answer. The line went dead. I knew, with a bone-deep certainty, he wouldn't come through. Men like him rarely do. A week later, my wife burst through the door without knocking. Rage and desperation contorted her features. You ruined her life, she spat. My face was calm as stone. No, I said. I stopped financing it. Her lips quivered as she searched for a rebuttal, a weapon. The truth had stripped her bare. She had counted on my silence, mistaken it for weakness. Now she saw the other side. Calculation. She left without another word. The house is quieter. The framed acceptance letter still hangs in the hall, but its power over me is gone. The ache is gone too, replaced by clarity. I gave everything and they chose betrayal. So I chose truth. I never owed them loyalty after they broke mine. Now she scrambles for loans and scholarships, for crumbs of a future she assumed was secured. Her mother drowns in guilt, trying to shield her from the fallout she invited. Me? I sleep. Revenge, I discovered, isn't always fireworks. Sometimes it's subtraction. You remove the weight you carried for someone ungrateful and watch them collapse under the emptiness they created. No screams, no spectacle, only silence. The sweetest sound of all,